talked at length about a lot of stuff that I wanted to hit. What what I'm thinking and what I did, and I don't know how this is going to be, just for 1,000% transparency here. I'd like some sort of a sound bit from you that I
Sure.
can right now, instead of sifting through our conversation and breaking it up into this 2-minute piece, which would
Mm,
be a cool other piece of content for maybe
mm-hmm,
I'll do a separate video.
mm.
But and I'm definitely going to direct people here because I want people to hear the whole
Thousand
conversation.
percent. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, but I'd like for I'm trying to think of where that's going to be now. I really like the way that you described pressure.
Mm.
Um, is there a way that I can have you maybe try to talk about it concisely? I feel like one of these weird
Yeah.
producer people
No,
right
no, no.
now.
It's good.
Um,
It helps me also think about how I'm
uh-huh,
teaching people things because
uh-huh,
I want it to be clear and concise from the sense of, I mean, I think you and I have both have had moments where you remember a chef that said something to you and it sticks in your mind. Like it's those clear and concise thoughts that actually stick with people and make an impact in how they work. And so, um, tell me a little bit more about
sure.
detail wise what you're thinking.
Cool. So basically, what the footage is it's me standing where I am here. I have my hand on the knife. I'm talking about the how your right hand controls angle, left hand controls pressure, and
Yep.
then I bring the camera up, and then I'm like, and this could be put anywhere. So, and then I say to talk about a little bit more about pressure, I'd like to like phone a buddy. Like we're gonna talk to my friend, like my like chef friend and knife nerd Justin, to talk about like a little bit about pressure. So think about it like you're speaking to a beginner, almost maybe like you were kind of almost redoing that video talking about how it can be the scale trick. We already talked about that. I can maybe search for something, but talk about how when you're sharpening, what a couple easy take awayable points for lack of a better term when talking about putting pressure on the stone and making your passes.
So if you're an archer pulling back on an arrow, the hand that's closest to the target, the one that's not pulling the arrow back, is actually only responsible for aiming. So that hand is not touching the arrow. It's not influencing how strong of a pullback that is on the arrow. Think about that as your if you're right-handed, that's your right hand. So that's the one it's only in charge of directing the angle by which the knife is sitting on the stone. The other hand, and this is, on the other hand, is only responsible for how strongly you are pushing that knife, that piece of steel up against the rock. And that's your hand that's drawing the arrow backwards. So don't think, and we talk about it as the whole thing is archery in the same way that the whole thing is sharpening, but both hands are doing very different things to accomplish this goal. And as I'm thinking about this, a lot of people fall into the trap of using that right angle hand to influence the pressure. You actually need to use your other hand moving constantly. It's almost like that hand never moves from the center of where that stone is. The knife moves, your hand stays exactly where that is, and so the spacing between your angle hand and your pressure hand might grow and contract and grow and contract. But that's all in service of keeping that consistent pressure between the knife and the stone so that you're not getting these lopsided angles. All this work that you're going through to try to learn angles can quickly be undone by thinking that you can keep your pressure on the tip of the knife when you're actually working on the heel of the knife. If that's helpful.
Dude, that was perfect.
Cool, cool, cool.
Dude,
The other thing I'll add, and it's something you can maybe splice in,
sure.
is thinking through a lot of people, and this funny example of my teaching assistant comes to mind when he was like going so quickly because from an outsider's perspective, it looks like that person is, doing pressure, pressure, like pressure going forward, pressure going backwards, pressure going forwards, pressure going backwards. But the tip that really stuck with me is you never want to cut into the stone. So all your pressure should be when you're moving the bevel away from the direction that you're moving the knife in. And this is hard to articulate in a sentence because whatever I say changes when you flip the knife over, right? And so the easiest analogy that I think through is don't cut into the stone. And so
Dude, you said it best yourself in your video.
Yeah. However, I said it in my video. Like, do it.
Goes in the direction of the spine.
Yep, correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. So just quote me. Just put a meme of myself over my face talking right now.
I just need a picture of your face to like pop up, and then it comes. There's a Justin says.
Exactly. But yeah, that's exactly what I want people to take away from this, is because there's nothing worse than getting halfway through a sharpening session and you still have a lot of work left to do, and you make a divot in your stone, and you have to stop, and you have to get your stone fixer out, you have to polish it down. Like, it's such a hindrance to your process, and it also can, in the worst case scenario, really fuck up your edge. If you come at it with the wrong angle and the wrong amount of pressure, you can really screw up your edge, which is just disappointing, and it doesn't feel good. And so to mitigate that completely, like, just pressure goes in the direction of the spine. It's exactly what you need. So
yeah, that's that one helped me a lot. That was one of the, for pressure wise, I think of the electronics thing and the pressure direction of the sound. Did you just like come up with that archer analogy?
Yeah, just now.
Dude, that was a hot freestyle, bro.
Yeah, mic drop moment.
Yeah.
No, it's true. It's true though. Like, if you think about it like that, people think that they have to like influence the pressure with their angle hand. It's just not. It will do more harm than good, in my experience. Yeah. Something that you just have to get a weird connection with, like it's almost like looking one way with this eye and one way with another eye. You know what I mean? Exactly.
Like, we done with practice, but
it takes practice.